right? The how to compare Six Sigma, because since we are discussing Six Sigma at the latter part of the semester, I just want to give you kind of a what you call that interaction, just to make you aware these concepts on the tools like Six Sigma, Lean, and theory of constraint. So you may go through this. So just to have an idea, and the latter part of the semester, we will take one by one and discuss what is Six Sigma, Lean, and the theory of constraint. So that in the meantime, since we are having these terms from the very beginning, we just I just wanted you to have some idea. That's why I have what you call that made that available. And apart from that, you have right another material, right? This one as well, right? Uh, did you find this? Even you didn't find this one, right?
No, sir.
No. So that I will look into this. So these are the two material I wanted you to have. Uh, anyway, right, to do the lesson. So that I'm sorry about that. I don't know where that where goes that the document which I have. Right, I think we have discussed up to here, right? So that basically the Henry Ford has done huge influence on the automobile industry by organizing these different processes into one single production line. Like right here, they say Henry Ford was able to significantly reduce the price of building automobiles from one hand. As a result, he was able to sell cars for such a modest price that he made it possible for every class American to own a car, like right. So every household in America were able to buy this Model T manufactured by Henry Ford. On the other hand, they say at the same time, as a direct result of the increased productivity of the assembly process, Ford was able to pay his workers more than any other auto assembly workers within a few years. So that since they produce more motor vehicles at a lower cost, so they can earn more profit. So that part of that generated income goes for the employees, right, as a higher salary, right. So that he was quite changed the way they assemble or the manufactured motor cars in America, right, Henry Ford. So they're making these changes in his production process, right? Process changes. So within a few years, Ford new approach had revolutionized the auto industry, and it soon led to the changes in almost every other manufacturing process as well. So not only the production of the autos or the motor cars, most of the other manufacturing organizations had adapted Ford manufacturing process changes. So accordingly, they also gain cost efficiency as well as what you call that more cost effective production process, and they increase the efficiency. And again, they were in position to pay higher salaries for their employees as well, right? So here they say the fourth success is a great example of the power of innovation and process improvement to revolutionize the economics of an industry. So why it is innovation that matters? Anyone? Why innovations are important? Yes. Why innovations are important? Can someone tell us why innovations are important?
To meet the changing needs of the people.
Uh, wow, you know that at the beginning we talk about strategy, right? What is the best way for you to have key? I mean the maintain the strategy positions in the organization. In the industry. How to gain the competitive advantage? That is by innovating, right? If you can come up with new products all the time, that means you are pretty much ahead of your competitors. Isn't that so? Yeah. Forget about all this. Why do we adapt information technology in the organization? Yes. Why?
To gain efficient and productive process
Okay.
in the organization.
Good. Very good. Very good. So when you gain the efficiency and effectiveness, what happens? So comparing with your competitors, if you are more efficient and effective in your in your service offering, what happens? You are ahead of your competitors, right? So that means innovation all the time let us to achieve competitive advantage. Isn't that so? If you are innovative, if you are changing to the requirement of the market and the economy and the socio-political environment and so on and so forth, you all the time ahead of your competitors, right? So that is again really important for you to lead the business, right? So here they say food success is a great example of power of innovation and process improvement. So that the what the Ford has done was he did the uh, innovation with regard to the production process of the automobile. By doing so, he gained the competitive advantage. That's why he earned more profit, and that's why he was in position to pay high salaries for his employees. And again, by studying his innovations and new way of doing the production of the automobile, most of the other industries, most of the other automobile makers, not only the other automobile makers, but also the other production processes also change just accordingly, right? So that these innovation and process improvement to revolutionize the economy of the industry. So these innovations and the process improvement revolutionize the economics of the industry. What is the economics? More cost effective manner you can do the production, right? That has been revolutionized, that particular production process, right? So on the other hand, right, other example could be drawn from the dawn of industrial revolution or from the early years of computers when mainframe revolutionized the census process in the United States and began to change the way that companies manage their accounting and payroll processes. You know that especially this census and statistics in the census and statistics, so they collect millions of pieces of information from the population of a country, like, right? So before all these these computers comes into play? How did they do that? In America, without these computers, they use punch card for that, right? But still that is quite a time taking and monotonous and quite lengthy job. By introducing these mainframe computers, right, in this, especially with these census and statistics, so that job made very easy for them, right? So here they say began to change the way companies manage their accounting and payroll. Later on, that was shifted for the other organization, and they were very easily manage their accounting and payroll processes, right? And again, organizational processes in uh, are defined in terms of set of outcomes, the general activities that tasks needed to achieve the outcomes. Like here, the ISO 20007, 2008, these are the standards, right? Earlier we talk about it. So why do we adapt these standards? Why anyone adapt different standards? So by doing so, what you can achieve? Yes, what do you achieve by adapting these standards? For example, here they have given 12,207, ISO 2008, and like you can maintain your quality, isn't that so? Right? So you may, by adapting these standards, you maintain your quality, as well as there may be regulatory mechanism, right? As a result of this regulatory mechanism, you have to maintain certain qualities, right? So these can be fulfilled by having this. That's why they say organizational processes are defined in terms of set of outcomes, the generic activities and tasks needed to achieve the outcome. This captures what needs to be done to deliver the products within the process, right? So that then when it comes to the evolution of organization, of understanding this process, obviously that goes back to 1990s, like, right? So this SEI, that means Software Engineering Institute, right? SEI stands for Software Engineering Institute. Uh, Software Engineering Institute model is known as the Capability Maturity Model, or CMM. It was initially described in a book, The Capability Maturity Model, Guidelines for Improving the Software Process, published in 1995. Right? So that the evolution of organizations' understanding of process be identified by this particular incident, right? This, by, by by this particular book, right? Guidelines for Improving the Software Process, published in 1995. In essence, the CMM, or Capability Maturity Model, team defines the stages that organizations go through as they move from an immature to a mature understanding of business processes, so that they have listed from more basic to matured level, like that, immature to a more matured understanding of business process, like, so that they level it, right? Level 1, level 2, level 3, and so on and so forth. These stages were defined using the examples from software organizations, so that these stages were defined by taking the example from the software organizations, but they apply equally to any large organization, but not only for the software organization, but also any large scale organization you can apply it, right? So here's the different levels they discussing CMM, right? Level 1, initial ad hoc software processor, right? What happens in the initial level or the level 1? Ad hoc, what do you mean by ad hoc? You very randomly select it and make use of it, right? Ad hoc manner, right? The initial stage, right? Then level 2, you improve to repeatable, able to repeat earlier successes, right? You adapt the whatever information and the material from the previous one and you repeat it, right? Then the level 3, defined. That means management and engineering processes documented, standardized, and integrated into organization-wide software process. So that's why they do most of the software developing organizations. What they do, they document all these developments, the technologies, the processes, the material you use, the methods, and everything they properly document, right? So that in the level 3, when they are up to this level, right? So we call it define. The management and the engineering processes documented. Management and the engineering process of this software development, that is documented and the standardized, right? And integrated into organization-wide software process so that they adapted throughout the organization-wide software process, right? When it comes to the fourth level, we call it manage, right? Software process and the products are quantitatively understood, right? Using these statistics, right? The facts, these numbers understood and controlled using detailed measures. So that based on these facts and figures or these greater numbers, right? They analyze these numbers and control using detailed measures. So the level 1 is optimizing, right? Continuous process improvement is enabled by quantitative feedback from the process and the testing innovative ideas, right? So this is the very first time we came across how they adapted these processes within the organization. So that has given us an opportunity to understand, right? So that is actually done by the Software Engineering Institute or SCI. Their model called Capability Maturity Model, right? And in this CMM, Capability Maturity Model, also CMM model is more commonly applied to large organizations. The model can also serve as an excellent reference model for small and medium-sized firms, right? This is not only limited to the big organization, but also small and medium-scale organizations can also serve as an excellent reference model for small and medium-sized firms. Remember, the key point of such reference model is to help you understand where you are today, right? And to assist in developing roadmap to help you get where you want to be. No one is suggesting that all companies should attempt to follow the model in the same exact way. So that what we can do by adapting this model. So the key point of such reference model is to help us to understand where we are today and to assist us in developing a roadmap to help us to get where we want to go, right? And no one is suggesting that all companies should attempt to follow the model in the same exact manner, so that no one would tell that every organization have to adhere to exactly the same manner, right? Uh, okay, so that when it comes to this CMM model, right, and one gentleman called What Humphrey and CMA, we call it the immature software process resembles a little league baseball. So uh, they have come up with some kind of a what you call that uh, I can say that kind of example we have given, right? So that a immature software process resemble like little league baseball team, like, so they compare it with the little league baseball team. So when it comes to the little league baseball team, is they are very small. They don't have that much of funding. They don't have that much of spectators. Like, you know that when they are not working as a team like the professional giants in that baseball, like, right? So that here they explain it by saying, when the ball is hit, some players run towards the ball, while others stand around and watch, perhaps not even thinking about the game. So the small players like this, what they do when a player hit the ball, some players run towards the ball, but others don't care. So they don't have any idea what's going on. Like, but in contrast, what happens in mature organization, the bigger league baseball team, like, is like a professional baseball team. When the ball is hit, every player reacts in a disciplined manner, and they are trained, right, in a more professional manner what to do when a ball is hit, right? Depending on the situation, the pitcher may cover home plate. Infielders may set up for a double play, and outfielders prepare a backup their teammates. Right? So that different roles has to be played by these players, right? So the pitcher has to do a cover up the home plate, and infielders may set up for the double play, and the outfielders prepare to back up their inmates, right? So here the picture, right? I just want to depict that the immaturity of playing this game, like, right? So that they don't have, and the one is playing, other one is just look at it, right? So they are not that the they are not professionals on playing that game, right? So it's almost similar to a immature software process of an organization, right? So that in handling business process problem in this kind of a situation, they say if there were one way of handling all business process problems, we would be happy to elaborate it, right? So that unfortunately there are many different types of business process change problems. So I mean the various organizations are having various problems. There is no single issue for the organization. Like various organizations are having different issues, various problems, right? So that we have to come up with different solutions for these different problems. And variety of solutions we call it, right? So the process improvement refers to relatively minor. Process improvement refers to relatively minor specific changes that one make in an existing business process, right? So first one, if we take process improvement, so that in order to do the process improvement, right, you don't need all these sophisticated technologies, or even some perhaps you don't need these computers or the softwares, hardwares, or anything, or the business process or anything. It's a simple mechanism. For example, right? Let's say that when someone comes to a organization, right? Let's assume that there are so many different departments they are having. But they don't have any indication what are these different departments within their organization premises, right? So do we find that sort of organization in our country? Can anyone answer? Have you come across any of such organizations? Come on. Organization without any direction? Yes. Yeah, Varuna, have you seen any organizations without any direction?
No, sir.
No, you haven't been. You know
No.
that sometimes when you go to a hospital, right, there are certain places that they don't have any indication what that is, right? So that in order, if we really want to do the process improvement of such kind of places, right? The first thing we have to have is an what you call that name board indicating what are these different rooms, what are these different the allocated centers and so forth. We can name them properly so that any visitor who comes to any person who visits that premises obviously can be understand what are these different what you call that uh, uh, rooms right, especially in the hospital, right? If it is a dentist, okay, dental room. If it is a cardiology room. Likewise, that's why we have that. So that is the kind of a process improvement. Give a proper name tag for each and every place within the organization, right? That's why we say process improvement refers to the relatively minor specific changes that one makes in an existing business process. Every manager responsible for process should always be considered RIM, process improvement, so that any process obviously manager can, he can look into that process and come up with these small changes. So all these are we call process improvement, right? This is a relatively minor activity, right? In addition, on occasion, special process improvement efforts are required to get everyone focused on improving specific process. For example, they have given Six Sigma is a good example of popular approach to process improvement. So with the Six Sigma, what do we do? Do you know where they have started Six Sigma? Yeah, I have a student without name. Can you tell where this Six Sigma starts? Anyone? Yes, Kokila. Do you have any idea where they started the Six Sigma?
In the implementation stage of
Any
process.
yes, good. Any particular organization that comes into your mind?
Uh,
American. I help you. One American
oh,
company.
it couldn't come into my mind.
So they started in General Electric, and again the Motorola is the organization very but in the smart manner they utilize the Six Sigma when it comes to their devices in order to minimize the defects of their production process. So they utilize Six Sigma more productive manner, right? Motorola, but that started in General Electric, right? So, but Six Sigma,